Hello, everybody. Good morning. Oh my goodness. I just need another 30 seconds here before I can get started. So please bear with me. Trying to get back into the groove here. Everybody, welcome in. Welcome in. I have a little bit different setting situation here to try to maximize my internet during the storm. So it's a little bit different than usual, but I have so many things to share with you. I thought I would come on and just kind of do them one at a time and do Q&A, then I'll go recharge and come back again. So the first one I wanted to share with you this morning, everybody, is, let me just make sure that I've got this all printed out. So this is a letter that was written from Miss Haba here, Mr. Trump's attorney, to the judge in the E. Jean Carroll case that's in New York. So let me give you a quick update here. We've got E. Jean Carroll jury trial. So there's two Carroll cases. There's Carroll 1 and Carroll 2. Carroll 1, just to clarify for everyone, Carroll 1 has to do with statements that were made in June. All right, just to keep it all straight. And Carroll 2 had to do with statements that were made in October. Was it October? I think it was October. Yep, October. And then in October, we also had the battery case. So she brought that case of battery here. It's weird because this one was filed second, but it was tried first. So it kind of got mixed up a little bit. But the trial right now that's going forward will be a jury trial for damages for this case involving the decision that was made here. So we don't have a verdict on the amount yet. So we're going to be having that coming up on Tuesday. So this was a letter that was written by Ms. Haba to the judge presiding over the case, and she had a couple of things, and so I thought I would go through that letter with you. This was dated January 12th. So here we go. Again, my setup is a little bit different here, everyone. I have a different filter on to try to make things a bit brighter on the paper, so hopefully that will help, but I will turn on comments right after so we can kind of talk about it. Here we go. Dear Judge Kaplan, we write on behalf of President Donald J. Trump to respectfully request a one-week adjournment of the trial scheduled to commence on January 16th of 2024. We are saddened to report that Miss Melania Trump's mother passed away this week on January 9th. As the family just made my team aware, there will be a funeral held on Thursday, January 18th in Florida. Accordingly, President Trump, who plans to attend his trial, will not be able to be present on Wednesday and Thursday as he will be traveling to be with his family and be attending the funeral. Given that this is one of life's sad, unexpected realities, President Trump would greatly appreciate this minor accommodation during this difficult time. As counsel, given the fact that Monday is a court holiday and trial is not held on Fridays, we believe starting a trial on Tuesday only to stop for Wednesday through Sunday and return will be disruptive for the court, the jury, witnesses, and attorneys for both parties. I also cannot imagine how this would prejudice plaintiff. Accordingly, we believe a clean start the following week or whenever the court can accommodate would allow both sides to conclude the trial within 1 week without disruption. Despite this unforeseen event, Carroll's counsel has refused to consent to this accommodation. Attached is a copy of the January 12th email correspondence with counsel. Accordingly, we respectfully request the court postpone the trial until January 22nd or later, or a later date convenient to the court. Signed, Alina Haba. So there's her request. Let's take a peek at the attachments, everyone. Here's the first one. We have, this is dated Friday, January 12th at 11:38 a.m. This one is from January 12th at 10:45 a.m. So we're going a little bit backwards. So it looks like there are just two emails. So let's start here with Miss Haba's email to opposing counsel. Again, this is Friday the 12th at 10:45 a.m. Counsel, as I'm sure you are aware, Miss Melania Trump's mother passed away this week on January 9th. I have just been informed her funeral will be held on Thursday, January 18th in Florida. Accordingly, President Trump, who plans to attend his trial, will not be able to present on Wednesday and Thursday as he will not be able to be present, sorry, emphasis is on the wrong word, to be present on Wednesday and Thursday as he will be traveling to be with his family and attending the funeral. Given the fact that a Monday is a court holiday and trials are not held on Fridays, we believe starting a trial on Tuesday only to stop for Wednesday through Sunday in return will be disruptive for the court, the jury, witnesses, and attorneys for both parties. I cannot imagine how this would prejudice plaintiff. Accordingly, we believe a clean start the following week or whenever the court can accommodate would allow both sides to conclude the trial within 1 week without disruption. Please advise if you consent to the accommodation by 2 p.m. today. We appreciate your consideration. Again, this was sent from Ms. Haba to opposing counsel on Friday at 10:45. So here's the response, everybody, and then I can turn on questions and comments. So here's our response from opposing counsel here, and this response is dated Friday, January 12th at 11:38 a.m. So 11:38, so they responded within less than an hour. Dear Alina, while we are very sorry for the Trump's loss, we cannot agree to a complete adjournment of trial at this time. Ms. Carroll and our other witnesses are prepared to proceed as scheduled on Tuesday, and any delay would be severely prejudicial, particularly as your client is near certain to assert scheduling conflicts again and continues to defame Ms. Carroll on a near daily basis in connection with his campaign for president. That said, should Mr. Trump choose to testify, and if you have finished all of your other witnesses on Thursday, then we would not oppose a continuance until the following Monday, so that Mr. Trump could attend the funeral and testify first thing on Monday. In other words, under that scenario, the parties in court would have part of Thursday and Friday off as opposed to just Friday. In this regard, we note that Mr. Trump did not attend the prior trial, which declared liability, and that this trial will be limited to the question of Ms. Carroll's additional damages. Signed, counsel here. So that was the response from counsel regarding this request for the trial to be moved an entire week. So I'll go ahead and turn on questions and comments. We can kind of go over this a little bit. Hopefully I can turn them on. So there we go. Should be up and running. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Early start today. It's too much to do. Not enough time. Hopefully I'm in frame well enough for everyone. I am trying to kind of format things a little bit differently. So I'm going to bump up the paper so we can see the comments in the bottom, everybody. So good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully everyone is surviving. Oh my gosh, good morning. Yes, hello, hello, good morning. Didn't the court deny this request? Now, I've not seen a denial yet at this point, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But Ben, did you read, have they denied it? I have not seen any order coming out. Necessary reason for him to testify. No, he's not listed as one of the witnesses for Miss Carroll. So if he wants to testify, it's his own situation. Mother-in-law's an excuse to miss trial because he's out. Well, yeah, I thought I had seen he had landed in Iowa in this blizzard that's going on over there. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Do they usually delay for this reason? Well, I'm not sure about a mother-in-law, everybody. It's really up to the court's discretion. Usually if there's a very close family loss, sometimes. But this has been, this kind of a case with the kind of security that's needed here is like, I don't know. I just don't know. Why does this counsel sound so much more competent than this counsel on anger on trial? Well, interesting. I didn't get that. I didn't get that vibe here because it seems like this was cut and pasted from her email that she sent to opposing counsel. So this really isn't much new content. It was denied. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, he's in Iowa. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wow, because Illinois, Minnesota, Iowa, everyone's getting nailed pretty hard. So an entire week is a little too much. I agree, Murray. I agree. And he wouldn't miss the actual the other thing too, everybody, you have to remember is that we're in a civil case, so his presence is not required. It's if he can come, great, but if he can't, that's fine too. So it's not great here, but in-ground delay request was Korean box level. Fair enough. I would agree with you on that. Yes, fair enough, fair enough. True. You got me on that one. Absolutely. I'm looking real quick here for the calendar. I just had it up here a second ago. Where did I put the calendar? I've lost it again. Hi. But yeah, so he's not actually he does not have to be in court during the civil part. So it's his choice. He can be there or not be there. That's why counsel was saying too, if he wants to testify, they would be willing to take half a day on Thursday and bump the rest of the case until Monday. So that seems reasonable to me. It's difficult. It's tough when you have a family loss. It really is. And, I feel for him, but event in New Hampshire, the 17th at 7 p.m. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is that can we double check the calendar against what his campaign calendar is? Because you have no constitutional right to have your campaign schedule met, and you also, at this point don't have a constitutional right to, be forced to go into court or to be in a civil case. So if it was criminal, it'd be different, but we're not. It's the only way to, well, it seems like it. Probably, well, I'm not sure he would go that far, but you just never know anymore. I'm not surprised by anything anymore, everybody. It's getting crazy. The whole world's gone insane. Oh, here's my calendar. I just found it. Yikes. So we're supposed to start here on the 16th. I apologize. I keep thinking tomorrow. Anyway, it's hard because of the weather right now, everyone. But we're supposed to start on the 16th, so they're wanting to continue it until the 22nd. So rather than just having that day off so he can travel there and then go to the funeral, which I thought they said was the 18th, so they're definitely saying, oh, well, we'll definitely get the 18th off. So they're already assuming that the court would allow for that, which, again, they don't have to. The court doesn't have to in a civil case here. They have to weigh it out. They have to weigh out the prejudice to the plaintiff as well as to the defendant. And this is a civil case. So, what this would do to counsel and the schedule and the trial itself, that's pretty significant to kind of cut 3 full days out of a week-long trial. So what they were saying is, hey, if we go early, if we take half a day so we could make it to the funeral on Thursday, then we come back then on Monday if you want to testify. That seemed reasonable to me. That seems like a reasonable request, but I don't know. It's always a little different. Been going insane. It's been crazy for years. True. I think it goes in waves, the level of crazy. I think we have peaks and valleys of crazy. Yeah, so Judge Cannon, oh my goodness, Judge Cannon, what is she doing? So I'm not sure exactly about delaying with her latest orders. She put 3 orders out on Friday, everybody. She did 1 order on the SIPA, which was fine, 1 order on allowing for extra pages for filing, which was fine. But the 3rd order was denying the government's request that Trump plead his affirmative defense of taking advice of counsel. So he was going to rely on that as a defense. At least that's what he's saying in the media. And so Jack was like, well, he needs to file like all other affirmative defenses. And Judge Cannon said, nope, I'm not going to listen to that right now. You can file later if you want, but right now, I don't want to listen to it. And she wrote it in a paperless order, so it was just a paragraph with a few sentences, no explanation on why we're not going through an affirmative defense pleading, what justification she has for that, other than she's just saying, I want to deal with some of the other trial pleadings first. Like, well, can we have a little bit more? It's kind of a big deal. So I'm pretty disappointed. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in Judge Cannon's move here. Now, just because I'm disappointed in how a judge is ruling doesn't mean that I wish any harm upon her or anything negative to happen. It just means write it down in your date book, keep copies of everything, keep charting it out so that you can do an appeal later. That's what it means. That's it. No answer in New York. Thank you, Navy vet. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I hadn't seen an answer yet. But it was interesting. Disappointed but not unexpected. I wasn't sure. I was holding out. I was holding out on it. I was holding out for her to say, let's have a hearing on it. Let's get it sorted. Let's, because they've done full briefs on it. And she's like, well, I looked at the briefs and I decided, man, I'm just going to wait. So I was pretty disappointed in that situation. But, sometimes judges do stuff and you're like, what the heck are you doing? Love your content. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, we'll just see. We'll see what she does. We'll see what Jack does about it. If he wants to take the time to appeal it, or if he wants to work with, what he's got, then he'll get it sorted. I was hoping she'd come to her senses. I was too, and this, or at least to recognize, like, wow, maybe I need to kind of lighten my load out at home or on the rest of my docket, or, what I don't know what her life looks like, but it's like there's the rest of your life. Can you lighten that up a little bit so you can put more focus on something that's super, super important? But that's very judgmental of me to say. So I will just say, I'm sure she's doing the best she can with what she's got, but I'm pretty disappointed. Should be going okay, and then gives. I agree, Navy. It's really hit or miss. Some of them you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Others you're just like, what? Where'd she even get that from? Like, what? What are you even talking about? It'd be more helpful if she could actually explain stuff. If she explained it better, then we'd be like, okay, well, I disagree, but she's got a good point. But here I don't see a point. I didn't see a point in that order. Other than to say, I just don't want to deal with it right now. Like, okay, good for you, but, like, there's not just you involved, People like, oh, thanks, yes, going a bit au naturel today. Jack forgot more than Cannon will ever know. She's green, everybody. I think she has the least amount of experience of all of the judges in court in Florida. I think she's the lowest on the list. I posted a video, or I did a post yesterday, I think, and they listed all the judges in order of seniority, and she was at the very bottom of like the active judges before you got to the senior judges. So I think she's the most the least experienced, so this is really for her a trial by fire too. So it's a lot. I really appreciate your content. Oh, thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate that. I do try to give as much information and assistance as I can. Yes, Kristen, I'm kind of unannounced, just popping in for a little bit this morning. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be all right. Her lack of experience is concerning. True, Pam, true. I would agree with that. It is concerning on such a big case. It's just kind of an unlucky draw for her, I think. But I think, we'll get it sorted. Get it sorted eventually. How objective is judge selection? Well, she was appointed, federal judges are appointed by the president. So the president gets suggestions from whomever the president relies on for suggestions for judges, and then they get appointed that way. So so I wouldn't say it's very objective. I would say you don't want your judges to be, they can have their political parties one way or the other. That's how it's always been since before we even had the United States back in the old days. Before it was the USA, we still had judges being picked out by the powers that be. So that's just a forever thing. But our judges now ethically need to make sure that they watch what they're doing so that it's not seen as overly biased. So they got to watch out for that. Our ethics rules keep them in place, but those ethics rules really only came into place in the 70s. So a lottery, yeah, it's kind of like a, spin the wheel. Who gets this case number? Working on adding Paxton and Texas border to the calendar. Oh, I love that. That sounds great. Yeah, there's interesting stuff going on right now. Interesting quotes and things down there, over there, up there for some, across there for others. And how objective is the selection in terms of the cases they get? The chief judge will dole the cases out, and it's usually on a rotating process. So they try to make it even. So they kind of go in order of seniority, and then they just keep going around and around and around. Or sometimes they just kind of randomly choose. This judge has had 250 cases. This judge has got 230, so let's give it to the one with 230. Or it can just be everyone's got a number and then they hit a button and that number comes up and then it's yours. So love the cow pen. Thanks. Yes, I'm celebrating cows today. Feds from getting to the border. Interesting. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, there's so much going on. So much going on. And it's not a small border either, you know. And sometimes I think too, like, how much of the United States used to be Mexico? Does anyone ever think about that? Like, there was like a lot that was Mexico, and we had a war and stuff. So, I mean, I get it, but it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, in my humble opinion. We'll see what happens, though. A lot of it, well, yeah, the entire West. Yeah, I know. You're right, right. A ton of it. I mean, there's like well, right, of course, the indigenous people, of course, you know, I mean, the indigenous people in Mexico as well. So, exactly, Kristen, exactly. Should have been a polar bear. I know, but that one's still lost in the mail right now because it's too snowy. Yeah, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. Not just Texas. Well, right. I mean, New Mexico, Arizona. I took a trip with a friend to Arizona one year, and I remember going, and of course, I have to do all the history and law stuff, and it's hard to hear sometimes. It's hard to hear. So it's difficult. I think we should give Texas back to Mexico. I don't know. Texas seemed pretty adamant about being its own entity. I don't know. You're in Arizona. Okay, there you go. Stay hydrated because it's dry. It is dry, as you well know. It's super dry. I came back and I felt like I hadn't had any liquids in at least 2 weeks, but I was drinking constantly. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Becoming a superior. Yeah, and you know the border has been a problem. It is an ongoing problem. We just don't have a good solution yet, I guess. Summer's so freaking hot. Oh, I bet. I bet. Oh my goodness gracious. Utah, New Mexico, most of Arizona and Colorado. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And of course, when you take a look too, of course, at our indigenous populations and the huge amounts of lands and water and things like that that were just kind of yanked away too. So, you know, it's really, yeah, it's a lot. It's hard to watch. Texas, don't want to live in Mexico. Fair enough, Kat. Fair enough. I mean, it is a whole nother country. Mexico is a whole nother country. Really? Oh my gosh, there's snow in Arizona? What? That's crazy. It's the definition of an open border. I think an open border means there's no rules or regulations. You can just come and go as you please. And we certainly do not have that. We have a lot of rules and regulations. Are they good? That's arguable. Do they work? Also arguable. But we do have them. We're going to cross Nevada in a car. No, no, I'm afraid, Mitchell. I'm afraid I would run out of gas and then some giant person, which is anybody, would come along and take me out. Yeah, CJ, exactly. The crisis isn't new. It's an ongoing issue for sure. Other countries also have rules to enter into their countries. Well, exactly. You're absolutely right. I mean, and if you've ever crossed over the borders in Europe, yikes. They're not playing. You want to make a Swiss person mad, you're like, I don't have to show you anything. Oh, they'll come get you. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, so it's an ongoing thing for sure. Yeah, through everyone's administration. Carroll is going to have a third defamation suit. Oh, you know, Jaundice, that's such a great question. That's such a great question. So, you know, she even in her second case, she had a whole bunch of statements, and some of them she's like, look, let's just deal with a small number, get in, get out, get done, because this is exhausting for this poor woman. And she's going through again and is in a situation where she's like, my goodness, how many more times are we going to do this? So I'm wondering if she's wanting to wait until she gets a verdict to try to see if that, perhaps by the end of next week, he will stop doing this. And if he doesn't, she would absolutely have grounds to bring more suits. Absolutely. Yeah, Lisa. Oh my gosh, Congress needs to step up, man. They are just absolutely a mess. Oh, they're a mess. Such a mess. Like, you know, come on, people. Get yourself sorted out. It's ridiculous. Went off True Social. Yeah, I know. He's at some point he's going to have an aha moment where he realizes that he's going to have no money left because And that's what I say. I'm like, to myself, I'm like, is it worth it to him? This must be worth it. Like, I can say whatever I want because I can afford it. I'm like, well, at some point you won't be able to afford it. And that's what's going to take when Mr. Trump cannot afford to say what he's saying. He'll stop saying it. Yeah, I know. Can Carroll have a restraining order? I'm not sure exactly how this is set out in New York. We've got lots of different kinds of rules on that. But the fact that he's getting, I mean, sure, he won $5 million. So I'm not sure what more of a restraining order you can get. He just got dinged for 400,000. Yes, so the New York Times case, and you may not remember this, everybody, but that case, I did go through that case a while ago. There's been so many cases, but there were some questions about the tax returns, and I believe it was Mary Trump had given the information to the New York Times, and then the New York Times put it out, and then Trump was like, oh, this isn't right. You violated my rights. And they're like, well, this is a stupid lawsuit. You shouldn't be filing it. And he's like, well, I'm going to keep doing it anyway. And so eventually that's where we got that. So it's an interesting case, only in that we have another absolutely ridiculous filing that went through the court system and wound up having to cost a lot of money, apparently $400,000. Plotting the, yeah, he's blaming AI, but the thing is, if there's someone out there where you're like, wow, that could really have happened, like we're already in trouble, if it was AI or not AI, the point is, even if he hadn't done it, it's something he would say. And is it because he actually said it out loud? Is that why he's a bad guy? Or is it because we know he could have and probably already has said it, just wasn't recorded? That's my view on it. There's no love lost for that person because he's Mr. Penguin. Every single time I look at the Justice League's villains, I'm like, but how could he be anything other than the Penguin? Sometimes I feel like Don Jr.'s the Riddler because he's like so spazzy, with the short hair, and he's like running around like blah, 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 blah. So I think he's the Riddler. So I'm trying to find the Joker, but the Joker's like a really smart villain, and I'm still trying to find one that's in there. I'm still trying to find one of the smart villains in all of this, everybody. Oh my gosh, Catwoman, yay! That's the uppers. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I think he would be a good Riddler. Oh my goodness gracious. I look at Mark Meadows as Two-Face, in my opinion, also. I think Mark Meadows would be a great Two-Face. Anyway, so, yeah, if you sit around thinking about the villains in the DC universe, they don't get caught. Exactly. So I'm definitely taking suggestions for anyone. Ooh, Stephen Miller. Oh, okay. Oh, could be. Oh my gosh, that's sounding good. That's sounding good. I'm going to have to take that under serious advisement. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's been going, oh, Steve Bannon. Yeah. I think Steve Bannon could be Mr. Ice, maybe. But I'm not sure. I should make like a little drawing of my art. Pillow Guy is Bizarro. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'll have to get a picture and then we'll have to label everybody. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Yes, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. Oh my gosh. We'll do that. I will absolutely do that, everybody. We'll do a villain chart. New skit coming. Yes, I think so. Ooh, Lex Luthor. Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. I mean, Lex was smart too, but smart in a stupid way, They're all nameless minions. Fair enough. In Justice League. Well, yeah. I mean, seriously, they're all like, it's like a comic book, it's ridiculous. The way that they talk and the way they give up all their plans. Like, they'll never catch me because I just said my plan, but said that they did it instead of me, Like, what? Like, only like bad villains give away their entire plan. Meanwhile, Trump's like, no, you're trying to take over the U.S. No, you're trying to do it. Like, wait a minute. What? Come on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Zorg from the Fifth Element. Yes, I think that's fair. Scooby-Doo villains. I don't know. I always felt a little empathy for Scooby-Doo villains. I don't have any for these guys. I just don't know. And I'm not sure about that. Oh my gosh. Oh, the hideouts, the four-season landscaping. No! Oh my goodness gracious. More like the James Bond villains. Well, yes. Yes. And, ever since I saw that, I think there was, so I was telling you all before about the Banana Republic was an actual thing where a whole bad group of business people or this businessman tried to take over the world via the banana trading. Anyway, there was one particular company that they called the Spider. I think it was a spider or octopus. I don't know, something with a lot of arms. And I kept thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, they totally copied that out of the Bond movies. This banana company with so many arms. I'm like, what? So, yeah. Bannon's Luther. Could be. Yeah, he could be Luther. Yeah, he could be. It's a castle of the wicked. Oh, my goodness. Mini-Me from Austin Powers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. That makes sense. Actually, I can see that for for Rudy. I get carried away, but it's still true, right? I mean, who goes out and tells your master plans to everybody? I'm just fascinated by that. Yeah, well, Stone is the penguin. He's clearly the penguin. He was born to parents who were afraid of him, so his life didn't turn out well. The Kiss movies, to name the ones here. Oh, okay, we could do that. We could do that. Use money to try to buy power. Excellent point. Excellent point, everybody. We have the fun of the weekends. Oh, I know. Especially when it's so early. Just a fun early one. So, yeah, we'll have to see. And I keep thinking of, like, Powell, though. Who would she be? Because we've got some good villains. Would she be maybe Poison Ivy, I'm wondering? She might be Harlequin. I mean, with the hammer. Which lawyer's Foghorn Leghorn? Oh, the classic. Oh, my goodness, the classics. That's a great question. I'll have to think about Minerva, Cruella de Vil. Oh my gosh. Rhea, that's perfection. Cruella de Vil, but without the sense of style. Oh, that's so mean of me to say that. That's mean. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Cruella. Yeah, I think we may have to have a merging. We'll have a mashup. Oh my goodness gracious. Is it me, everybody? Like, I haven't seen The New Mermaid, but does anyone else see Clarence Thomas's wife, Ginny, as Ursula? Is that terrible? Every time I see her, it's like she's Ursula and I'm waiting for her to start singing. Like, oh my gosh, whose soul did she take? Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, I mean, come on, right? She's totally Ursula. She's got a little tentacle and everything, and she's trying to get the crown. That's a compliment for Ginny. Oh, I know. Ursula was just misunderstood. I know. But yeah, that's who I see when I see her. Everybody falls into a different villain category now. Oh my gosh. Female Two-Face. Yeah, could be. I don't know. She might be Poison Ivy. I think that Melania could be Poison Ivy. She's got her own plan. She's got her own thing. Oh, I know. It's so corrupt. I know, Mads. I'm so corrupt. I was just fascinated that lady gave me a raspberry. I was like, when's the last time that happened? That's not an invitation. But, oh my goodness. You've now ruined the movie for me. I'm going to go. Oh, no, I'm sorry, everybody. I should have given a spoiler. Sorry about that. Sorry. Sometimes you gotta figure out a way to get yourself through a situation. And for me, I think visualizing them all as different villains helps. So, yeah, I've made it, Mads. I like to thank the Academy. I've made it through Troll World, continuing on as we go, but oh my goodness gracious. All right, well, with that, everybody, it is very personal. So that was all I've got at this moment, everyone. So I need to go recharge my batteries and everything. I probably will do one more full live again before I do my full sub chat tonight. So I will be doing my sub chat only tonight, which means everyone can come and hang out, but I've just got my chat turned on for my subscribers as a huge thank you. So that will be tonight at 7 o'clock Central. And I've just got a lot of paperwork that I'm trying to get through, everybody. We've got this letter here from Carroll, and tonight, I think I'm probably going to go through the letter from, let's see, we had another letter that came out too. So we had this letter here from, he was asking Trump to pay back the money that Trump got from the Jamie Raskin letter. Oh my goodness. I'll probably be going through that during my sub chat. Oh my gosh. And, but I've got an update, just a quick brief update here on Georgia. And, and the other one I've got too is I've got a reply in support of a motion for an order to show cause. So remember how he had said in the DC case, Jack should be, sanctioned. And so he's come back in with his, response. So yes, I will absolutely be doing that. So I will be recharging everything just because of how the weather is and how things are going. My battery is just, I'm on my third battery already. So I'll recharge everything and then I'll be back probably in a couple hours to go through, read documents, and then we will, I'll do a Q&A, but I will be back tonight also for my sub chat. So 2 more lives today is what I'm planning at this point, and it should work out fine. So with that, everyone, I will go ahead and sign off. I've got my new format here. Loving the neutral nails. Yes, sometimes you need to have a little neutral nail. Oop, I was peeking to see if the foxes were here. They weren't. But yes, thank you everyone for joining. I will be back again a little bit later today. Have a great rest of your morning, and we will see you all soon. Yes, the Murdaugh situation we need to check in on. It's on my list. It's one of my top topics. So I'll catch you all a little bit later. Take care, and I'll be on in just a little bit. So bye.